Will wrapped the cloth tightly around the bullet wound in his leg. His breathing was still raspy, but his lungs weren't punctured from the broken ribs. He ached from head to foot, but they were so close. He couldn't imagine walking away when they were this close. The authorities would be here any moment, and in all likelihood, they would shut down the mine when they heard what might be inside. Will and Giovanna would never get a chance at the gold train if that happened. It would be tied up in years of bureaucracy and red tape and ultimately confiscated by the Italian government. I'll be fine. The mission's not finished. I owe it to Mr. Riccolini to see if that train is in this mountain. Will picked up the gun that Rudolph had dropped. He tucked it into the back of his shirt. I'm not surprised, Torrance said, proudly watching Will. You have done everything necessary to fulfill your contract. Let me just report what happened here to my superiors, and we can be on our way. Torrance stepped some distance away and made a call on his phone. He smiled reassuringly at them as he called it in. He talked for a moment and then tapped away at his screen. Will used the time as an opportunity to get back to his feet. He tested his leg, and while it looked like he had lost a lot of blood and each step hurt, the wound wasn't life-threatening. Let's hope we find the train quickly, Will said quietly to Giovanna as he hobbled up next to her. I won't be able to walk very long, and the authorities are bound to get here at any moment. She had been through so much. It was a wonder she was still standing and willing to go on. He was a soldier. He had been through hell before and knew what it took to summon your strength and will to keep going. This was her first experience, and it was crazy that she was the one pushing them on. She truly was resilient. What mettle must her father have had to have a daughter this determined? Yes, I figure we have half an hour, maybe a few minutes more. Not much time, but after everything we have been through, I want it to be us. She looked at him with wide eyes. She swallowed hard. I want us to find it, not anyone else. He thought he heard her voice crack. She looked down at her flashlight and blinked rapidly. The flashlight flicked on and off as she tested it. They left the Germans and the Russians where they were. Leave them, Torrance said. The SIS will be here shortly, as will the Italian authorities. They will sort it all out. But let's go find this fabled train. They walked along the shale-covered path, occasionally spotting bits of old railroad track that must have been discarded or left behind. Will could see the entrance to the mine yawning black in the distance. The first gallery should be right inside that tunnel, Giovanna said. I was nearly there before the Germans grabbed me, but there is no one to stop us now. Her pace quickened, forcing Will to painfully keep up. As they drew closer to the entrance of the mine, Will began to feel uneasy. Something wasn't right. The forested mountain was too quiet. He stopped limping along and pretended he needed to catch his breath. It wasn't all that far from the truth with his broken ribs and patched leg. I don't hear the sound of sirens, Will said. Wouldn't the SIS have called it in by now? The local police should be on their way up here. Will, Giovanna frowned. It's only been a few minutes. They can't warp here. Besides, we want them to take their time if we are going to find that train. Torrance looked behind them. You think they could find this place that easily? Don't worry. They are on their way. But I didn't get any cell reception up here. So how did you? Torrance was quick. His gun was in his hand and pointed at the two of them